Hey guys, let's get started talking about Session 8. The topic of Session 8 is financial aid, and I want to take a second just to show you exactly where some of our topics are coming from and explain to you why it is so important that we do cover all the topics that we are assigned. So what you see on your screen is something called student learning outcomes, and these are 6 things that the state of North Carolina says we must cover in ACA 122. Notice number 5 and 6 discuss some of the aspects that we will learn about this week. So number 5 specifically identifies financial aid as being an essential college resource. And then number 6 talks about identifying essential college policies and procedures. And that talks about your GPA and satisfactory academic progress, financial aid eligibility, and what it means to be in good academic standing. And so I wanted to kind of loop back in and remind you about these student learning outcomes, just so you know that every topic that we cover in ACA is something that is mandated by the state. So what you will do this week for the financial aid assignments is you'll watch a financial aid presentation, and that will be activity 1 for this week. So someone from the financial aid department has recorded a video for you, and this presentation that is given is done on like a top 10 tips. And so it's like the top 10 things that students need to know about financial aid. So spend some time watching that. Even if you currently do not use financial aid, you're still needing to watch that presentation and know those policies and procedures, because they have far-reaching impacts, because you may need financial aid in the future, and what you're doing now fully depends on what you have available for you in the future. And once you get done watching that presentation, you're going to take the Session 8 Activity 2 Financial Aid Quiz. This is certainly not a quiz that you need to be worried about or concerned about. It simply is just a measure for us to show the state that we did expose you to this information and we assessed you on it. So no stress. Just watch the presentation, then take the quiz, and you'll be totally fine. The largest thing that I want to talk to you about in Session 8 is the Part 2 of the Advisor Meeting Assignment. So remember, this Advisor Meeting Assignment is this kind of big overarching assignment where essentially you will ultimately meet with your advisor at Nash Community College, and you guys will plan out the next 6 semesters or up until you graduate, whichever comes first. So last week for Session 7, Part 1 was due, and that was just that worksheet where you went through and you made sure you did the Who is My Advisor form, kind of located the email address or the location that you needed to go to get the assignment done or contact someone. You did a quick review of what types of classes we're currently offering at Nash Community College. And then you kind of did some thinking for yourself. Do I need to be a full-time student? Do I need to take classes in the summer? Those kinds of questions. And so that was due in Session 7. Session 8 is Part 2, and that's simply the degree requirements. And depending upon what degree you're earning at Nash Community College, you may turn in 1 file or you may turn in 2 files here for Session 8. Keeping in mind, moving forward, Part 3 is due in Session 9, and Part 3 is the paper that your advisor will fill out when you have your meeting with him or her. So even though we're only in Session 8 right now, please keep in mind Session 9 is quickly approaching, and so if you have not already made arrangements or an appointment to go and meet with your advisor, or you've carved out some time in one of your days to go to the advising center, if that's who you're advised by, you need to go ahead and start making those plans. This is a very important assignment, and we want to make sure that you have the opportunity to actually meet with your advisor and make those informed decisions. So I'm going to loop back to Part 2 real quick, and I just want to make sure that everybody is clear on exactly what gets turned in for Part 2. So when you click on Part 2, you are going to see that it tells you to submit an updated copy of your Nash Community College degree check sheet. So that's everybody. And then a degree pathway, if applicable, based upon the criteria outlined in the assignment. And so when you click on the assignment, this is just going to pop up the directions. So there is no copy this assignment directions because there's no reason to copy these like we've done with our other templates. This is just assignment directions. You don't actually turn this piece of paper back in. So it's got some step-by-step directions at the top, just kind of give you an idea of the assignment. This is how you're graded. And then here is where the directions actually start. So number one, ask you to go back to what your degree program is at Nash Community College. Make sure that you remember what that is. And then it tells you step-by-step directions, A through F, as to where to find your degree check sheet on our website. And using what you can find on the website is always the best way because it is the most current degree check sheet. Keep in mind, those of you in the health sciences programs like nursing, physical therapy, vet tech, med assisting, you guys have a important announcement here for G because your degree check sheet is embedded in an actual information packet. And so if that is you, you turn in an entire information packet, not just one piece of paper. So that is the first thing that you do is you follow number one and you get the Nash Community College degree checklist for your degree. You find that on the website. So that is file number one, and everybody turns in that file. Now, some people will be turning in 2 files for this assignment, and we need to figure out who those people are. So number 2 says, if you plan on continuing to a 4-year college or university after you receive a degree from Nash Community College, you have to turn in 2 files. If you're earning an associate in arts, an associate in engineering, associate in science, you have to turn in 2 files. And number 2 further explains that that second file that you're turning in is a degree pathway. And so this information here will lead you to the degree pathway document, and it will explain to you how you are going to figure out what document needs to be submitted. So essentially, if you're going to a 4-year school, you need the information from the 4-year school that tells you what you should be taking at Nash Community College in order to transfer there and be a true junior. So when you are completing a degree with the mindset of going to another 4-year school, when you're picking electives, you need to be picking the correct electives that are going to help you at the 4-year school. And that is what that second document is about. So, depending upon your degree, you will submit 1 or 2 documents for part 2 of the advisor meeting assignment. And then keep in mind that next session, session 9, is when you will be submitting the paper that is created, that plan, once you meet with your advisor. And so make sure that if you haven't done that already, you're carving out some time, you're making plans to get that done because that is coming quickly. All right, so session 8, just to recap, you're going to watch the financial aid presentation video. You're going to take that quick financial aid quiz, and then you're going to complete part 2 of the advisor meeting assignment, which is just to submit your Nash Community College degree checklist and a bachelor degree pathway if that applies to you. If you have questions about exactly what needs to be submitted there or you're confused after reading those directions, please shoot an email and I will be happy to help you. Y'all have a fantastic day.